So hello guys, and welcome back to another video in our channel. In our video today we're going to look at the Premier League clash that took place yesterday in the Monday Night Football, and this was the clash between Chelsea and Crystal Palace. So the game cannot be defined based on the scoreline because the game was more in depth, and actually it was a point in the game where Chelsea actually looked like struggling and actually conceded the first goal of the game. However, Chelsea managed to come back and managed to win that game 3-1, maintaining their excellent track record against Crystal Palace, and so far they have the joint highest win rate success against a single side when they faced Crystal Palace. So we're going to try and understand what was wrong in the Chelsea system and what challenges Mauricio Pochettino's side experienced in this game that limited their progress. Before we even begin our analysis, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. So in the initial phases of the game, Chelsea really pressed aggressively high up the pitch, denying Crystal Palace any time to build from the back, and this enabled Chelsea to force Palace long, and in this case Chelsea won the ball majority of the times. So maintaining possession and controlling the game with the ball, Chelsea actually did a great job. Now, where did the problem start? So Chelsea lined up with the 4-4-2 that they played against Aston Villa, with Jackson starting as a left wing, with Gallagher playing alongside Palmer in the front line. So unlike most teams that Chelsea faced, and unlike Aston Villa, Crystal Palace were much reserved and they sat in a 4-5-1 mid-block, with Mateta being the only single forward leading the line, with sometimes Hughes or Lemar pushing forward to join him to form a front two where they will aim to sit on Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez while momentarily putting pressure on the centre backs. So Mauricio Pochettino evolved with this system by dropping Caicedo in between the two centre backs in the earlier phases of the game. And when Caicedo will drop in between the two centre backs, the centre backs will split wide, allowing the wingers to cut in and play quite narrow, and the fullbacks will now advance to occupy the wide channels, with Chilwell and Malo Gusto playing almost as wingers. But though Noni Madueke did not like to invert, and this created problems in the right flank. From this clip, you can see the position of Moises Caicedo in between Thiago Silva and Disasi, with Enzo Fernandez being covered. So because of the overload that was created in the Crystal Palace backline and the constant balls being played over the top, Crystal Palace did not want to rather press Chelsea or maintain a high defensive line, and therefore, because Crystal Palace did not want to find themselves in this tricky situation where they will have to defend runners, they decided to drop their lines deeper, with all the two banks of 4 dropping so deep, forming a solid shield of 9 players in front of the ball. So in the first half, the problem that Chelsea really experienced is because when they dominated the possession, Caicedo was playing more as a third centre back rather than playing in midfield, and this left Chelsea quite lightweight in the middle of the park. And this is now what prompted Enzo Fernandez to be playing slightly deeper, but this also limited Chelsea's time to have players in the middle side of the pitch to try and overload Crystal Palace. You can see from this clip how Palace are maintaining a 5-man midfield, a narrow compact shield that prevents Chelsea from playing penetrative balls in between the lines. So to add on this, also in this case, is that what we realized in this game is that this 9-man block that Crystal Palace created was becoming so problematic. And even when Enzo Fernandez will receive the ball, he will not have space to play penetrative passes. And also Noni Madueke, who also insisted in coming out wide, created a form of congestion in the right space. And Cole Palmer, playing out of position, was not keen to hold the line to create gaps in the middle of the park. So in the first half, Chelsea used to play just sideways passes from right to left, which was quite lethargic and quite boring for the fans, with Crystal Palace looking to win the ball and immediately capitalize with quick, rapid counter-attacks. Here you can see from this clip how Palace are quite compact, and even though Chelsea players are playing behind the midfield, the Crystal Palace midfield is so aggressive and so compact, denying Chelsea any time and space to play penetrative balls in between the lines. So in the second half, Mauricio Pochettino made a tactical change by Madueke coming out with Nkunku coming in. This made Nicholas Jackson to move into his centre forward position, with Cole Palmer coming into his preferred position, right half space. In this position now, what we will see is that Chelsea will move into a more of a 2-3-5, with also Caicedo playing slightly in midfield, and this will enable Gallagher and Enzo Fernandez to play alongside him while the two fullbacks generate width. The benefit of having this is that Nkunku and Palmer were creating a lot of problems for Crystal Palace when they occupied this half space position, because both of them are creative attacking midfielders and are not afraid to be receiving the ball in tight spaces and immediately playing their fullbacks, who would be in acres of space to attempt crosses in the box. But the most interesting part of this game we saw was in the right hand side, and in the right hand side is where it was quite fascinating. And how was the right hand side quite fascinating? You see, Chilwell and Nkunku did not link up quite well in the second half, but in the first half, in the second half, what we saw is that Gusto would receive the ball in space, because when Cole Palmer was playing more of an attacking midfielder position, what you will see is that he will be receiving the ball, drawing in a midfielder, a fullback, and a winger to himself, and creating space for the likes of Gusto to receive the ball and attempt a cross on goal. And this is what actually led to the 2 goals that Chelsea scored, with Palmer occupying that channel, receiving the ball, and playing the ball to Gusto, who made a good cutback to Conor Gallagher, who was making late runs in the box, enabling him to score the 2 goals for Chelsea. Here you can see Gusto receives the ball, and Palmer is already making that half space run. So once Palmer makes this half space run, he already drags out a centre back out of position, and you can already see the number of players overloading the box. The difference between Chelsea in the first half and in the second half is that in the second half they had a lot of players overloading the box. As many as 6 players were making runs in the box, giving Chelsea a huge numerical advantages in the box, with also Conor Gallagher stepping from midfield to come in and attack the box. This is what generated a lot of strength for Chelsea. So Chelsea managed to win and are back to the 10th position, famous number 10 position. So this game really explained the troubles of Chelsea and their successes. The first half was quite horrible, quite lethargic. Chelsea had 0 shots on target. And in the second half, Chelsea managed to change some tactical changes here and there, and they managed to open up the game. I think the bringing in of Nkunku really transformed the game. Now, Chelsea are now going to have 2 difficult tests. They have the game against Manchester City and the cup final coming later. So this is going to be a huge test for Chelsea. Will Chelsea manage to get something at the Etihad? Drop your comments down below, and thanks for watching.